What up, is Marcus with Dynasty Dads? I am back from my bachelor party. I have survived. Now, what we do in our draft, our redraft, is we get our picks 1 week prior to the draft. So my first redraft is this weekend, and so I got my pick. Out of 12-team PPR, I am number 10. So it is what it is. We do this every year. It's kind of a fun way to get everyone start to talk. We can trade picks if we want to trade picks. It's happened a few times where somebody feels like they're at the end of a tier and somebody wants to kind of move up into that tier, switch some picks, trade. It happens. But I am pick number 10. How we do this, so if you guys ever want to copy this, is simply what we do is we take 12 poker chips, 1 through 12, throw them in the bag. The champion gets to pick first, and then the second place gets to pick, then third place gets to pick out of the bag. And I think it's the only fair way that if you're the champion, you get the right to be able to have that opportunity. So I am pick number 10, like I have mentioned before. We're going to look and see what we have with this. So I've done a couple mock drafts here. Players that I'm not going to have. I'm not going to have Justin Jefferson. I'm not going to have Jamar Chase. I'm not going to have Christian McCaffrey. I'm not going to have Travis Kelce. We have a big Kansas City guy in our league. He's before me. He'll be gone. Austin Eckler will likely be gone. So we're looking at this kind of CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson potentially territory here. I have been kind of vocal that I believe that Bijan Robinson is the third best option. When you have PPR, but Barkley's in there too. Chubb is in there as well. If I can get either Nick Chubb or Bijan Robinson or even Saquon Barkley, one of those three running backs on the turn here, I'm doing it. And if I can try to find where he is, Bijan Robinson, I'm going to take Bijan Robinson as my first overall pick at number 10 here. I really like Chubb too. I think passing will be okay, but you're talking about that Cordell Patterson plus an amazing runner type that Bijan Robinson is. I think that he easily could be a winner of this league. I really have a hard time seeing him not being a top 10 running back if he stays healthy. The second round, we have Jonathan Taylor as an option here. He's the best available running back. If I went wide receiver, the Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry second round, if Chubb and stuff is gone, is definitely appealing. We have A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Garrett Wilson. Jalen Waddle, Garrett Wilson are higher boomer bust. I feel better about Devontae Adams. I feel better about A.J. Brown. And tight end Mark Andrews is another option here, of course, but I think A.J. Brown is the pick to do. I talked about A.J. Brown being almost too highly drafted last year, but at this point in the turn, getting a good running back, getting a good wide receiver, I don't think Chubb, let's see, I just wanted to see what was taken. After Bijan was Chubb, Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I think that's too high for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I get it. I just don't see him in the same tier. I don't see him with Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown. I just see him just below those guys. Tony Pollard gets drafted, so we're going to take A.J. Brown. He seems to be my really solid 203 here. I've been drinking some extra coffee. I'm trying to recover from the bachelor party here. All right, third round. If it could go my way, Najee Harris would fall. He did not. Ramondre Stevenson would fall. That'd be nice. They did not. Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, Breece Hall, all gone. Quarterbacks, Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, all gone. So we are starting to see, we're starting to see some players go. And I'm going to hide some drafted players here so I can see. DK Metcalf is an option here as well. So you have DK, Cooper, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne. Jahmyr Gibbs is another option here at round 3. I think on this way. So this is where having a turn is so important. If you look at I'm going to look at the draft board and go, okay, the team after me has 2 running backs. Likely not going to go running back. The team after that has 2 wide receivers. Could go back-to-back running backs. So I think in my world, I feel like 2 running backs are going to go. Do I like 3 running backs? There's Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne, Aaron Jones, Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Joe Mixon. And I do like Travis Etienne. So it comes down to, do I have multiple wide receivers that I like? And DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy. At this point, nothing stands out. I mean, I like Amari Cooper, probably the best out of that. Quarterbacks, you got Lamar, Joe Burrow, tight end, TJ Hawkinson. This is probably the TJ Hawkinson route. I'm going to take TJ Hawkinson because I feel like I can get a wide receiver. There's a lot of wide receivers I like. let's see which running backs go. Travis Etienne, Joe Mixon, gone. So I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. And this is ultimately, I'm okay with knowing that my team might start off slow with these rookie running backs. That is totally fine. When you have two running backs picked in the top 15 picks, those running backs have such a high hit rate. I'm going to take these rookie running backs. Because honestly, when you're looking at next year's thing, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably going to be a top 15 pick. And getting him in the 4th round is a slam dunk in my opinion. All right. Wide receivers. What we got left? We got Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett. I don't know where TJ came from. Brandon Ayuk, Mike Williams, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans. All I do like. Quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, who's injured, Justin Fields, and Trevor Lawrence. I like literally all three, and I could see myself drafting any one of those three. Joe Burrow with a little bit of calf strain. I don't know if I can, with my roster construction, I have Burrow and Fields so close fantasy-wise this year that I don't know if I can start off slow. With two rookie running backs, I feel like I'm going to need a little bit more insurance. So let's go with wide receiver. Terry McLaurin is the one that just kind of popped out at me. I'm going to take Terry. Next one would be probably Brandon Ayuk in that group. Joe Burrow, Justin Fields both go. And so, honestly, it's kind of what I expected. And that's all right because I love Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence will be my pick here. I think he's the slam dunk pick at this point. Some wide receivers, I definitely could have went somewhere else. But when you have three wide receivers that basically you can start, it just, I don't know. I have a hard time because if I look at my rosters, look at my roster. Trevor Lawrence, Bijan, Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, T.J. Hawkinson. I feel really good about that roster. We need some depth here, though. We got James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco. My running backs, who's going to start off the gate? Isaiah Pacheco has been banged up. You had Jahan Dotson, Jordan Addison. I love both of those. Burks, a little bit less. Cooks, I think, is always a reliable player here. I feel like I need running back and wide receiver here. Well, let's go back to the draft board and see what we got behind us. We got 2 wide receivers, 3 running backs, and then we have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, both with no tight ends. So if I was looking for a tight end here, that's where I would have to probably draft a tight end or else it's going to get taken or potentially get taken. I really love Jordan Addison. I kind of want him for the high upside. I have Terry McLaurin, so Jahan Dotson's almost kind of out of the picture, so I'm going to take Jordan Addison here. Again, rookie central. We talk about rookie hit rate sometimes being poor, but in redraft when you hit, I was somebody that picked, I picked Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and I'm trying to think who else I had. It was like my whole entire wide receiver core was rookies, and it went really, really well. And I was somebody that drafted Chase early, and Devontae Smith. That was kind of an okay season. He didn't. I drafted him his sophomore year last year too, and it was fun. We have Isaiah Pacheco, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, A.J. Dillon, Khalil Herbert, Rashad Penny. This is PPR. So we have to figure out somebody that catches. Isaiah Pacheco is not that. I think Antonio Gibson's the right play here. There's also an option that we get Brian Robinson on the way back or on a different part of the draft. And I didn't because he went. It is what it is. I think Brian Robinson could have been an option here, but I think Antonio Gibson he was a receiver in college. Kenneth Gainwell was a running back, and he was a receiver, basically, a receiving running back. All right. So we have Lawrence, Bijan Robinson. I've said that maybe 50 million times. Jahmyr Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Antonio Gibson. We're going to do a couple more picks here. I didn't realize Devon A-Chain was spelled D-E apostrophe V-O-N. I thought there was like an E at the end of his name. Maybe not. We're looking for high upside play here. I think Devon A-Chain is the easy pick here. I am going to take him. Wide receivers, you have Elijah Moore, Quentin Johnson. Again, I am drafting all rookies, aren't I? This is getting scary. But out of the 3 running backs, let's just say one of the 3 top, because out of my running backs, you have 4 of them that I feel like are solid, really solid running backs. You have Roshan that I think has a decent opportunity as well. But let's talk a little bit about Dynasty in a redraft form. Bijan, love. I think he's guaranteed. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is super safe, and I really, really do like him in Detroit. He's my number 2 running back. Number 3, going into the draft was Zach Charbonnet. He goes to Seattle. Bad spot. Now it's Devon A-Chain, which I think is... I think is easily a potential flyer that you, again, what you're looking for is a championship. My team may start off slow. I might even, I've had a team that has started off 1-3, 2-4, and those have been some of my best teams because once some of these rookies hit and they start getting involved in the offense, and you've started to acquire some waiver claims, your team almost becomes just rock solid. And I'm okay with sacrificing some wins or some losses / wins early. Jacoby Myers, Sky Moore, just Nico Collins, Rondell Moore, Alan Lazard, Tyler Boyd, Jameson Williams, just not what I like. But we got to draft somebody. So if I'm going to draft somebody, I'm going to go with the Kadarius Toney is hurt situation, and I'm going to draft Sky Moore. He is a sophomore player, finally not a rookie. But yeah, that's what I have here. Let me just kind of present what my team looks like here. So, quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence. Running backs, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Antonio Gibson, Devon Achane. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Jordan Addison, and Sky Moore. Again, wide receivers, it's probably my weakest point for sure. But it's all right. It is PPR. It makes it a little bit worrisome, but that's what you got to do. And then tight end TJ Hawkinson. I feel really good about this team besides some wide receiver depth. If Terry or A.J. Brown are on a bye or hurt, I'm down to Jordan Addison potentially being that fill-in spot, which there's some worries here. I mean, let's see. There's Romeo Doubs. Let's see. Michael Gallup might be a deeper flyer here. I'm Tyler Boyd out of Cincinnati. Always seems to have some solid weeks. Rashid Shaheed is another deeper flyer. Isaiah Hodgins, I still have some faith in. John Mechie, coming back from that cancer stuff, I think is an option. There are wide receivers that I definitely can throw maybe 2-3 more darts at the board and kind of go for it. Yeah, so that's kind of the team number 10. Tomorrow I'm going to do a redraft. My wife has pick number 2. She wanted to have me give her some thoughts. So we're going to do pick number 2 next time. Until then, peace out. Take care. We'll see you again soon.